Welcome back to SportsLine. 737-7767 is the number to call. Glad you're with us on a Wednesday evening. As promised, we are going to dive a little bit deeper into the NCAA Women's Final Four coming to Bridgestone Arena here in Nashville this weekend. And who better to help us preview the two and actually three big games that are coming up than the pride of Cleveland, Tennessee, former UT Lady Vol superstar and current entrepreneur Brittany Jackson. Good evening, Miss Jackson. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
How'd you like that intro? Pretty good, huh?
I like it a lot.
Well, we're going to get into the Final Four in just a minute, but first I thought I'd start off by asking you a little bit about your alma mater, Tennessee. Obviously, everybody wanted the Lady Vols to be here this weekend for the Final Four. It would have been a distinctive home court advantage, as we all know. They failed to get to the Women's Final Four for another year now. In your opinion, is there pressure mounting on Holly Warlick to get it done, to get back to the Final Four and get back to a national championship?
Well, there's always pressure on it. If you're wearing a Lady Vol uniform, they expect you to be in the Final Four. And, when I obviously graduated in 2005, we went to 4 Final Fours. And to see her go out and not make it there, so it is disappointing. And I think there's pressure on you. That's just what comes with, wearing the orange jersey. But it's disappointing, to a lot of players and fans, just because, especially it being in Nashville, it would have been awesome. But, I think Holly's doing a great job with those girls. It's just, when you have nights like that and you play a team like Maryland, it's a great team, and you don't hit shots, don't knock them down and get stops, and you gotta win in advance, and it's important.
Yeah, and now things get interesting now with Tyler Summit, Pat's son, taking the Louisiana Tech job at the tender age of 23. You got to be proud of what this kid's done in just a couple of short years of coaching.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. I mean, I remember Tyler in diapers. We were talking about it yesterday. It's just, I'm so proud of him. I'm happy for him. He's doing a great job, and he's had so many the same personality really as Pat. Like, I see him when he's coaching. I saw some of the games that he's coached, and he's going to be a great coach. And so I think it speaks volumes to be able to get a head coach at the age of 23. I mean, he learns from the best, though. So.
Yeah, he certainly did. Well, let me ask you this now. Let's say he does well at Louisiana Tech, which we all expect him to do. I'm sure there would be a call in Knoxville for him to come home, so to speak, and coach the Lady Vols, just like Mom did, if Holly Warlick continues to not be able to get this team to Final Fours and to national championships. That's an interesting dynamic that we could see down the road, couldn't it?
It is, and I promise you that so many people that have asked me that here lately, just because people really didn't. I wasn't even sure if she wanted to be a head coach for that long. But Holly's so excited about. I mean, I talked to her this past summer actually in Nashville, and she, she's loving it. And I think she's done a great job. Anybody that has to take Pat Summitt's place, that's a tough spot. So I think Holly's done a great job with him. But you know what? So many people ask, you think Tyler will come back this way? And there's no doubt in my mind. I think he will.
We're talking with former UT Lady Vol Brittany Jackson as we get set for the NCAA Women's Final Four coming this weekend to Bridgestone Arena. Brittany will be our special guest analyst during Final Four weekend over on News Channel 5, and we're certainly excited about that. Okay, let's get into it. Let's start with Notre Dame, Brittany. Their fourth straight Final Four. They're 36-0. Obviously heading into the Final Four with a lot of momentum, but they did lose their star forward, Natalie Anchanwa, to a knee injury in the regional final, and she had 19 points and 15 rebounds in that game. How big is that loss for the Fighting Irish?
Oh my gosh, it's huge. And I was listening to an ex-teammate of mine, Kara Lawson, just calling the tournament, and listening to her, and she said, listen, they can't beat UConn without her. And I mean, I agree with her. It's going to be tough. She's not just points on the board, but she's just their leader, and man, that's tough. Any player like that. I mean, I hurt for her. That I never tore my ACL, but I couldn't imagine going down in the game, before the Final Four. So that's tough for Notre Dame. It really is. They're a great team. Muffet does a great job with them. They have a lot of energy, a lot of great players, but it's going to be tough for them to get past UConn.
Yeah, Notre Dame beat Maryland 87-83 back in January. Of course, a different story without their star forward. How about Maryland? Their first Final Four since 2006. They won the title that year. They're 27-6. They also head in with obviously a lot of momentum. They're the team that knocked Tennessee out of the tournament in the regional semifinal back on Sunday.
Yeah, Thomas is tough. I mean, she's one of the toughest players out there, and I like her motivation with her team as well. At this point in time, I know I've been there. I mean, like I said, I went to the Final Four. It's whatever team. I mean, momentum is huge and confidence now, and Maryland has that. I mean, they nobody really expected them, I don't think, to beat Tennessee, and they did, and then to beat Louisville at the last second. They have a lot of momentum, and so it's you never know.
Yeah, they beat Louisville, but how about the show Shoni Schimmel? Wow, that was good alliteration right there. How about the show that she put on towards the end of that game with raining down those threes? She almost pulled it out for the Lady Cardinals.
She did. I mean, she is a great player as well, and there's so many, players on all. Now women's basketball is so, players are going to different programs. When I was there, it was us and UConn and now I think it's great for the women's game.
No question about it. Stanford comes in 32-3. They lost to UConn 76-57 back in November, really when the season was started. They made the Final Four 6 of the last 7 years, a remarkable feat there. They beat Louisville on their home floor, of course, in the regional final. What do you see out of Stanford?
Agumake, man, she really down low. She's so tough to guard, and just watching that game, I was like, man, if you want to beat Stanford, you're going to have to put 2 and 3 people on her, and she worked so hard. So she's just a warrior down low. So Stanford's always tough. I played Stanford a couple times out at Stanford. They're tough to beat, but they work hard. It's going to be an exciting Final Four because there's 4 teams that have a lot of momentum, have a lot of confidence, and it's just going to, who comes to play that night.
Last but not least, how about UConn? Obviously, they're the heavy favorite to win it all. 38-0. They've won 44 straight dating back to last year. Their 7th straight Final Four. And I hate to break this news to you, but if Gino Auriemma wins this championship, it'll be his record 9th championship. I mean, what can you say about what that program's been able to do really for the last decade and a half?
Trust me, I've heard that quite a bit lately. Actually, someone said it today. Hey, if they win, they're going to beat Tennessee's final or national championship. But Coach, is a great on. They're expected to win national championships. So they have a target on their back, though. I think they've got to come. They got to be focused and ready to play because these teams that are there, any given night, if you're off, you can be beat, and we know that in women's basketball. So, it's exciting. I'm excited to get to come this weekend, and I think we'll have 3 good games.
Now, you've been there, like you said. You've played in multiple Final Fours. Take me into the mindset of a player as you get ready to play in a Final Four, knowing that you're 2 wins, 80 minutes away from a national championship.
Focus is the biggest thing, and Pat's done it. That's one thing that she really emphasizes with her players. But it's hard because there's so much going on. You've got family, you've got friends in. At a Final Four, there's so much going on the outside. So I think it's just important to stay focused and not get overwhelmed. And that's easy to do. I don't care if you're a UConn, if you're a Maryland, or it doesn't matter. But the biggest thing is just staying focused. And I think all 4 of these coaches have their teams very focused.
Now, most people expect, even with the injury to the Notre Dame player, that it could and probably will be UConn playing Notre Dame in the championship game. And this could be pretty interesting because I don't know if you heard what Muffet McGraw, the Notre Dame head coach, had to say on selection night. Basically, it seemed like she kind of took a little bit of a shot at Gino Auriemma, saying, geez, we would have loved to have played UConn this year. I don't know why Gino didn't schedule us. I thought that was pretty interesting, and I'm sure Gino will remember that if it's UConn and Notre Dame in the championship game Tuesday night.
Yeah, I'm sure. And, Gino, he likes to put his in there every now and then. And so, I'm sure that Muffet, she would love to play him. She's just such a great coach. The way that her team feeds off of her, I really love watching. And, I really do. My prediction, as you just mentioned, I think it'll be Notre Dame and Connecticut. And it's just, Notre Dame is going to have to really make up for Nchama being out because she's such a huge presence. that team. But like I said, it's up in the air. UConn can be beat. That's definitely, we know that. So it's just a matter of, if Notre Dame really make up for their loss or the China.
Well, Miss Jackson, it's going to be a great weekend at Bridgestone Arena. Glad you're going to be along for the ride with us. We look forward to your analysis throughout the weekend, and can't wait to work with you.
I know. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get there.
All right, Brittany Jackson, thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Thanks for jumping on with us.
Thanks. You too.
All right, Brittany Jackson, former Lady Vol. Again, she'll be with us all weekend, helping us break down the NCAA Women's Final Four starting on Saturday over on News Channel 5, so make sure you're checking that out. Up next, we go from sports to sports entertainment. WrestleMania 30 is coming up this Sunday in New Orleans. We've got Justin LaBar from WrestleZone.com, a columnist for that website, to break it all down for us. So you'll definitely want to stick around for that. We're back after this.